Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel outside the target demographic. Today I'm going to be showing you how I made my own pocket organizer. Let's get started. So if you've been in the everyday carry community for any extent of time, you probably noticed these popping up in your advertisements on Amazon and eBay and Facebook. This is about a $15, $20 belt organizer, and the idea would be that you would run this guy through your belt, and it would provide you a way to store a multi-tool, a pen or a marker, and then maybe a flashlight. Now what I found with this, and I tried to use this pretty diligently for about a month, it doesn't work so well. Unlike what the advertisements would suggest to you, my findings are when you put an item into the pocket. This is a Victorinox Swiss Champ, by the way, one of their bigger models. What you'll find is, I guess we'll put two of these items in here. The organizer doesn't really, it doesn't shape itself very well. You can see it just kind of forces the pocket open, and there's really no flat surface. That becomes a problem when you're trying to bend this against your body, against your skin. So you're going to have this whole Ripley effect, and instead of holding the items nice and close up against your body, they kind of want to bow themselves out and away from. Makes for a very uncomfortable carry and a very distracting carry. It's very difficult to obscure it unless you're wearing a jacket or something. I find threading it and de-threading it on a belt is cumbersome, having to wash your pants or switch from your work pants to your day-to-day around the house pants. So what I've decided to do is trim a little bit of fat off of this. I was looking on Amazon just today at a couple of pocket carry solutions, and they want $20, $25, $30 for them. I don't know if they're going to fit. I don't know if the dimensions are correct. It's very difficult to find an item. This one's going to be just shy of 4 inches at this point. But once you start packing stuff into it, go 1, 2, 3, 3.5. So by the more stuff you put in there, the less wide it's going to be, because now you're adding a third dimension, taking away from the 2 dimensions, if that makes sense. So you get into the whole, well, the pictures and videos and reviews make it look to be this size. Does it actually fit my multi-tool? This, that, and the other. So what I've decided to do is, since I know nothing about leather craft, I just cut this one down. And I got rid of some weight, and I got rid of, well, let's see. We started with 7 inches across, and now we're down to almost half the width. And the idea now is this is actually a pretty decent size for fitting into my cargo pant pockets. Why this is relevant is, while I do everyday carry this guy at work, it's a very chunky boy. What I've done is I put some hooks with some double-sided foam tape on the back of this. And this will give it just enough give that it doesn't shear off or break anything. It's almost like a shock absorber. And this fits pretty well on a belt. So I'm able to carry it around without having to have a holster or needing a two-handed access kind of thing. I can just slip this onto or over my belt, and I can get it one-handed off my belt. That's fantastic if you're wearing a belt, and more importantly, if that belt is quite thin. So even this relatively thin layer of leather works. But when you get into, this is a doubled up one, something that a pair of pants would actually, or a pant belt would actually be more akin to this thicker leather, it becomes a bit of an issue. I'm now stressing the angle here. I'm flexing, fatiguing that metal. So all that to say, whether I'm wearing a belt or I'm not, this guy will be able to fit into any pant pocket I have. And I'm able to carry the thicker sized or smaller size Victorinox Swiss Army knives with my S11 flashlight connected to it. This is a quick detach. I covered it in a video before, but they are, got a 10 pack of these for I think $5 off of eBay. They're fantastic. They're easy to disconnect. They have a 360 pivot design, so they'll never tangle up or bend and bind. I can connect them onto my multi-tool, onto my keys, onto my shirt sleeve, onto a baseball cap, onto the back of my kids' shirts, and let them run through a crowd with a flashing red light at, hypothetically, but also in reality, a state fair last year. I'm able to keep track of the kid while having the flashlight. Also, as I've discussed before, but we'll do here, with this flashlight, the casing is glow in the dark. Using the UV setting, if I kill the light, I essentially have a maybe 10-minute what are those? The tritium keychain, and that if I come into a room out of sunlight or something like that, I have a glow dongle to help me find my pocket knife. And then in here I'm carrying a miniature Sharpie, and it looks like there's even enough space to put a pin in there if I so choose. But this is what we got. So we cut it down to about half the size. It saves me the trouble of having to figure out what type of leather to get and do some stitching. I do have a bit of an overhang here. This was a empty or a bottomless pocket, I believe, so you could put a longer flashlight on it. I've opted to get rid of that. Should this design end up working, I'm probably going to go ahead and find a way to glue that together, give me a little bit better structural integrity, prevent that from fraying and breaking. But for the price, I tried it as the product it was, and part of everyday carrying is you have the tools to make your own tools. So I just used the scissors on the Victorinox. I cut it down. I rounded off this edge and made it symmetrical to this edge. So now I have a nice rounded, by design, nice rounded insertion, and I have a rounded top as well. So getting this into and out of a pocket is going to be pretty simple. I have recently gone on Amazon. I decided I have enough leather items. I have a couple of items, holsters for firearms, and as you've seen in one of my previous videos, the cell phone case and all, that I got some leather honey. It's a leather conditioner and a rag, and I've been wiping down all my leather items. And for comparison, untreated, treated, and you can see it's got a darker hue to it. It looks more moisturized after just the one use. I did it on the black here, as well as the back here, as well as the open fibers of the leather versus the, let's see if the light will cooperate. I'm going to guess not. So you can see a pretty defined line going across where I did do and where I didn't do. But I recommend it. It's making everything shine up real nice, giving it a nice protective coat. And this is a quick solution I came up with that I wanted to pass along to the rest of the community. And that's about all we have. So I rolled in a Samsung S9, my old cell phone, as a comparison. just about a little bit wider, maybe half an inch wider than that. But if a cell phone can fit in your pocket, this guy easily can. It's going to be a little bulky. Smaller size multi-tools, thinner multi-tools, dedicated folding knives will definitely work better. But I figure this will seat pretty nicely in the pocket. I can reach in, grab it by the flashlight dongle. If I do a quick pull, I bring the multi-tool out by itself. If I do a slow pull, I'm able to bring the entire leather pouch out. I can access what I need to and put it back away when I'm done. So far, I like the idea. I've tried it in a couple pairs of pants. I haven't had any issues with it. As I said, I'm just passing this information along to those who would, for whatever reason, be interested in such a thing. So this is outside the target demographic. I appreciate your guys' time as always, and I will catch you in the next video.